In 1967, Officer Tilman Blair joined the Detroit Police Department. It's now 2024, and Corporal Blair is still serving. Who's this handsome young guy?
I don't recognize him.
His quick wit and sense of humor, along with his commitment to serve, have served him well.
You got to be willing to serve the public and treat them the way that you want to be treated.
But he hadn't expected to stay with DPD. He wanted to be an X-ray technician or real estate agent. He'd sung some backup for friend Nathaniel Mayer and wrote poetry when he was drafted in 1965 and sent to Japan, which he can still recite.
For the world is full of you and I who cheat, steal, and even lie to keep what we have and depart for nothing. And remembering always the worst, but never the best, you and I.
Wow, that's a good one. When he returned home from the service, he thought he'd try being a police officer for 1 year.
Because I hadn't looked at the police department as being a career. It was going to be a step, on the job to, something else later.
Now 80 years old, this great-grandfather works in traffic safety, coordinating crossing guards for the schools. But he's ridden everything from the early scooters to the Harleys. He's worked special events, escorting presidents, even spending time in ident. That's identifying fingerprints. Long before there were computers, there were cards and file cabinets they had to examine one by one.
At that time, we did city prints, Detroit, state, and the FBI. You call it 3 prints. You did prints for each one. It was a job at the time, and that's what you had to do.
He told me he would never retire.
That's Sergeant Curtis Perry, the longest-serving active sergeant. He started at DPD in 1975, and he's Corporal Tilman's boss.
He starts at 6:30. He's there every morning at 6:15, and he has an impeccable memory, and he's very resourceful. Very resourceful.
You'd think at the age of 80, having served since 1967, the corporal might be considering retirement. Think again.
He told me he wasn't going to retire. That's what he told me. But he's an excellent worker and very resourceful. We're glad to have him.
And we thank him for his service. In Detroit, Amy Lang, Fox 2 News.